Storytelling is the most powerful way to put ideas into this world. Today, I have with me someone who left the corporate world to tell the stories of entrepreneurs and in the process became an entrepreneur of stories himself. Over the past 3 years since the launch of his venture, he has grown as a brand and as a person and is here with us to share his own personal story. I would like to welcome today's unsettler and the founder of the Entrepreneurs of India, Arjun Jani. Hi, Arjun. How are you?
Hi Amrita, I'm good. How about you?
I'm alive and well.
First of all, that was the best introduction anybody could give,
Thank
on me. Because maybe इतना अच्छे से नहीं introduce कर पाता हूँ. So thank you for that. It means a lot.
मैं भेज देती हूँ तो सबको तुम यही फॉरवर्ड
Please,
करना
please,
आगे
please.
से.
You always help me with the content, yeah.
Yeah. This
I
is
think
this
that's
is.
really good.
I'll
Yeah.
help you out. I'll send you this. You can next time someone asks you please bio भेजना अर्जुन तो यही फॉरवर्ड कर देना सबको.
I'll just send them this clip. Hey, bhai, उस दिन this happened. This is the best introduction anybody could give, and this is what we do, and this is what we've come. Yeah.
Yes, done.
Yep.
So welcome to the Unsettling podcast. अब season 3 शुरू हो रहा है and I mean how better to start this journey other than talking about stories. So how did you decide that I want to quit this corporate world and get into the world of storytelling? When did the switch happen in your brain?
Okay. So I think the answers start uh, much before when I left my job and I thought of starting my own business. I think it started when I was a kid, when I was in school, and I would never do things that never made sense to me. Whether it made sense to someone else, it's okay. But if it doesn't make any sense to me, I won't do it. For example, everybody used to have like five, 6 notebooks in their bag and their textbook separately. So मैं क्या करता था ना, मैं एक ही टेक्स्ट बुक लेके जाता था, एक ही नोटबुक लेके जाता था, बिकॉज मुझे लगता था कि ये पहले खत्म हो फिर मैं दूसरा नोटबुक लेके जाऊँ. Why should I carry unnecessary this
burden?
and फिर क्या ज्यादा क्या होएगा, टीचर विल गिव मी रिमार्क, ज्यादा ज्यादा डांटेगी, पढ़ा ठीक है जाने दो, तो मैं unnecessary लोड लेके मैं नहीं जाने वाला. So this is how I was since the beginning. And even during the exams, अगर exams कल है ना तो मैं कल ही पढ़ूंगा. I was like that. So
Okay.
that time it did not make any sense to me. तभी बहुत डांट पड़ती थी. But right now I think that same thing has helped me a lot, because when I was doing a job, so by the way I learned Japanese because I always wanted to do business, and I thought that learning Japanese might create opportunities for me to do some business in the future, which I have not explored yet. But then once I graduated from commerce and once I completed like 2 levels of Japanese out of 5, I got a job. I was very happy that I could get a job. कभी सोचा ही नहीं था कि I'll also do something, because nobody treated me as you are something. Or even in school, my pet name was Hopeless Teacher, and even in college, I don't think anybody would, मतलब मेरे को खुद पे भी भरोसा नहीं था, तो how can I expect others to believe? Still, I got a job, and I was very happy about it. But then after a few months, I realized that they're calling me at 8:30 in the morning. Okay, which is okay, nothing wrong in that. They're asking you कि ऐसे शर्ट पहनो, ऐसे कपड़े पहनो, you have to come. And I'm okay with going at 8:30, but if you call me at 8:30 and if you don't give me any work, or if the work is only for 2 to 3 hours,
Correct.
I don't feel like waking up early and going there. And every day same thing. You have to wake up early and make them late हुए तो it is a late mark, and then they'll cut your salary and all that stuff. So मुझे अच्छा नहीं लगता था. So I thought that this is not, I cannot spend the rest of my life like this. Because if there is no work, then why should I wake up early? that's exactly how
Correct.
I used to think. So then they had very smart people in my company. So they had a contract for 1 year, so you can't leave the company, before 1 year. So मुझे लगा कि गलती कर दिया, I should not have signed that contract. But then I waited for 1 year, and finally it was Independence Day, and I was very happy. But that experience ना अमृता, apart from my work, मैं बहुत सारी चीजें सीखता था. मेरा ना पूरे ऑफिस में सबका फ्रेंडशिप था. I knew what is going on in the software department. I knew what is going on in the accounts department. कोई बलता कुछ एजुकेशन का काम करे तो मुझे मालूम है, शायद उनके कलीग को नहीं मालूम, बिकॉज आई कम्युनिकेट विद एवरी सिंगल पर्सन.
Correct.
और मैंने देखता था कि यार ये लोग जो फाउंडर है, हाउ आर दे रनिंग द कंपनी, व्हाट आर दे डूइंग सो डिफरेंट, व्हाई आर दे सिटिंग देयर इन द केबिन, व्हाई एम आई सिटिंग हियर, व्हाट्स द डिफरेंस, व्हाई आर थिंग्स द वे दे आर. So I had this curiosity because बहुत टाइम था, वर्कलोड ज्यादा नहीं होता था, only on month end usually we have so much work. But otherwise, there was so much free time that we had, and I was very curious to know. So this is what I used to think. And I told myself that job is something I don't think, unless I have to do it, I won't do it.
Correct.
And I was always a curiosity driven person. मुझे हर बार अच्छा लगता था कि, to explore, to try out things, try out new things. And this one day, Amrita, it was in 2000. So I was preparing for my third level of exam, which was very
अच्छा.
difficult in Japanese.
हाँ.
So I was just, because मैं 3 बार fail हुआ था, and this was the fourth time I was giving.
Okay.
So उस दिन I was just sitting alone, like every day. Even I spend 2 to 3 hours every day with myself.
Mm-hmm.
That day I was sitting alone. I was watching people walk by on the road, and I was wondering why people are the way they are.
Right.
This was the question that I asked, and I was very curious to know,
Mm.
if somebody is tired, why are they tired? If someone is happy, why are they happy? If someone is sad, why are they sad? If
Mm-hmm.
someone feels successful, why do they feel that same way? If somebody feels that they're not good for anything, why do they feel that way? There must
Correct.
be some reason, or at least there must be some version of
Mm-hmm.
their answer. कि मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि इसीलिए मैं ऐसा हूँ,
Correct.
But I can't just go on the road and ask them, otherwise they would slap me. क्या रे क्या कुछ भी पूछेगा क्या? It's like that. So I
बराबर.
thought, okay, I need to find a professional way to get those answers from these people. So I
Mm-hmm.
thought, why not share it with everyone? What is the
Correct.
problem? If I want to know, there might be people who also want to know why
Mm-hmm.
people are the way they are. And coming from a business family, I've always seen my father talking business. Even my brother is a businessman. Even I wanted to be one. So I thought, why not cater to entrepreneurs? Because
Right.
entrepreneurs are leaders who chose not to take the job, but to
Mm-hmm.
give in
Correct.
the long run. So I thought, chalo, aisa kuch karte. So I waited for a few months until my third level of exam ended,
Mm-hmm.
and then I started. I did not
Mm-hmm.
know how I will make money. I did not have any plans to make money, at least in the initial year. मुझे खाली इतना पता था कि if it grows the way I think it grows, money will automatically come.
Correct.
How, I don't know, but it will come. If there are people involved in it, I will make money. I knew that. So I started going shop to shop literally. Most of them used to think I'm selling credit cards, which I was not. बट देन मैं बोलता था कि सर मेरा ना ऐसा आइडिया है, मैं इंटरव्यू लेता हूँ और मैं आपकी स्टोरी छापूंगा, मस्त हमारे सोशल मीडिया में डालेंगे, दिस दैट.
हाँ.
एंड दे आउट ऑफ 10 people at least 2 to 3 used to say yes. और मुझे
Mm-hmm.
बहुत अच्छा लगता था. I used to sit there for like 30 minutes, 1 hour. I used to talk to them. I've seen people cry while sharing their stories. Some of them told me कि because of my work I could not give time to my children. Something that I felt was उनके, मुझे ऐसा लगता था कि they did not have anyone to listen to their life.
Mm-hmm.
एंड आई वाज द वन हु गॉट एन अपॉर्चुनिटी टू लिसन टू देम. तो उनको भी बड़ा अच्छा लगता था कि यार देखो कोई सुन रहा है, कोई लिटरली आया है हमारी बातें सुनने, कोई आया है, दे जस्ट.
Right.
तो मुझे अच्छा लगा, जस्ट लाइक व्हाट यू आर डूइंग राइट नाउ. इट्स अ वंडरफुल थिंग. So that gave me that satisfaction also. It gave me good sleep, if not money, in the initial days. And
Mm-hmm.
then eventually we started sharing one story every day. I used to write. I used to do everything. That was the best year. The first year was the best year because
Mm-hmm.
I used to learn so much. I had no money, but I used to learn so much. And then eventually it started growing. फिर मुझे लगा कि यार अगर मेरे को, if I have to focus on the revenue generation also, I
Mm-hmm.
have to get out of the content writing part. I have to get out of social media part and this that, and I need to get better people on board who can do that job much better than me,
Correct.
so I can focus on getting business. So धीरे we expanded. Today we have a small team of 12 people who are working
Wow.
from across India. We
Mm-hmm.
have our third magazine coming on 28th June. It's just like 7 days across. Next week we
Mm-hmm.
are launching it. And the next month we have our upcoming new series of magazine for Womenpreneurs. So things are looking really nice, and this is how it started. And I think that it was always in me. जैसे मैंने बोला ना बचपन में, if I don't want to take that extra notebook, I won't take. So if I personally feel that if you're making me do things that doesn't make any sense to me, I won't do that. So I
Yeah.
think that attitude
Mm-hmm.
drove me towards starting my company. Yeah.
Agreed. So you were very curious about knowing what is happening in everyone's world, and you started very small. You started just because you were a curious kid, and now it's like a company of people. It's actually a network of people who know you really well, who want to be associated with you, and it's wonderful to see, the kind of energy everybody brings into the room when everyone meets up or are together. Because I've had the opportunity to, host a few shows for you as well, and it has been
Oh yes.
amazing, the energy.
Just so everybody knows, if everybody is listening right now, I just want to tell them कि ये जो हम लोग बातें कर रहे हैं ना, हम लोग बहुत बातें करते हैं. This is just that we are recording it right now. That's all. We are really good friends. We talk very often. Amrita has a great contribution to my company, and I hope I have tried to, help her in
Oh,
her
you
venture to
have.
whatever best extent I have. But we are good friends, and this is just another conversation for us. It is just that we are recording it right now. And I'm thankful for Amrita for inviting me. I've seen personalities in Amrita's, extraordinary personalities. People who have done something out of the box, and I always listen to all the things that all the guests have to say. And of course, Amrita herself is a big inspiration. Amrita, thank you so much. It means a
Thank
lot.
you.
And thank you so much for being in my life. You have been a great contributor. I can't imagine my company being at this position without your
Oh, that's
contribution. Thank
it.
you so
Come
much.
on. It's all you. It's all you. I think people have just come into your life, helped you out here and there. And thank you for appreciating my work as well.
You are a perfect thing. I look up to you. I really look up to
That's
you.
very sweet of you, man. Okay, so well, you spoke a lot about storytelling, and you spoke about starting out, and then now you have 3 magazines which you are publishing. So as an entrepreneur, I understand that you come from a background of entrepreneurs, but this is something new, right? This is something no one has done, at least in your family or anyone around you. So when you started out, I'm sure you were very confused and you don't know how to scale this up, and now you have some semblance of a structure in place where you know that this is on autopilot, and this is from this is a place from where revenue is coming in. So can you tell us, how did you formulate that structure and how is it functioning now?
Long story short, it is trial and error, you
Right.
know. But I'll come into detail how exactly it is trial and error. So just before starting, na mujhe ek cheez pata tha that whether it's like when you do a professional course, there is no
Mhm.
guarantee if you're doing MBA, if you're doing any professional course, there is no guarantee that you will get a job.
Correct.
But you invest your time, you invest your money, expecting that good returns will come from it. Whether that happens, that doesn't happen, nobody knows. But at that point, you believe that that is the right thing to do. For
Mhm.
me, this was exactly like that. Only there was no certification going on in this. So I wanted to invest my time. I had a target of 2 years.
Mhm.
If I'm not able to make any money for 2 years, I need to change the business.
Right.
And so this is what I thought, and I thought that okay, it's an investment of time and
Mhm.
it's an investment of money also, which was given to me by my parents, of course, because I'm staying at their place right now. So thanks to the family. But I think that was an investment in the right place,
Mhm.
without any expectations, big expectations in return. But I think this time, I feel so lucky that I had no money that time, because
Mhm.
all the big things that I learned today, which are actually a valuable part of my company, the way we operate, the way we build our culture amongst all the team, and the way we get anything done. कोई नया चीज आया, magazine, I had never read a single magazine in my entire life, believe it
Mhm.
or not.
Right.
But then I don't know from where that idea came into my mind कि चलो magazine खोलते हैं.
Mhm.
And it came out really nice. Yeah, I don't know how we did it. Thanks to the team. But I think that culture, that comfort that we give them, that having an open mind, or giving the authority of deciding how it should be to the team. That's how
Mhm.
they are able to perform. And I think the credit goes to the team itself.
Right.
But I think all these things happened because I had no money,
Mhm.
and I had to get down to get all these things done myself. Because अगर मेरे को
Right.
वो टाइम पे पैसा होता तो मैं इतना अटेंशन से या इतने डिटेल से ये चीज नहीं समझ पाता.
Mhm.
So that was there, and this one, जैसे मैंने बोला ना, I tried so many things there. You know it better than me. We had done this investment summit where we invited investors, we invited startups, and we had a campaign going on and this and that. And then you helped me out with the event structure. You were the host. You did it wonderfully. वो
Right.
था, फिर we organized one award show which was
Mhm.
totally from our company. One was in collaboration with another company, Growing Buddies. वो दोनों हमने
Mhm.
साथ में किया था. So many little things. We did story frame, which we still sell actually. मतलब किसी को we have their
Yeah.
story shared, so we frame it and we send it to them.
Correct.
It was one of our initiatives. ऐसे कितने सारे चीज किए जो इतने अच्छे से नहीं चले, you know. But it was okay. It
Right.
was, for me, it was all about what did I learn,
Mhm.
how do people react. It's all about psychology.
Correct.
मतलब ऐसा करने से ऐसा रिजल्ट आएगा, ऐसा करने से ऐसा रिजल्ट आएगा. If you
Mhm.
portray this, if you put it this, a thing in a certain way, this is the kind of result that you'll be getting.
Right.
And you do it until you find that right, कि हाँ अभी अच्छा चल रहा है, so let us focus on that.
Continue with that.
Let us
Yeah.
do that even more exactly until it's autopilot and I can think of doing something
Right. Right.
like that. So it was trial and error, trial and error, trial and error. But
Yeah.
it was worth my investment of time, worth my investment of whatever little money I invested in the company.
Okay, so just to reiterate for the listeners, so what he is saying that, he has done a lot of trial and error, and he came up with new ideas every single time. He used to bounce it off all the friends and mentors that he had. Then he
Yeah.
used to try it out. Chala to chala, nahi chala to nahi chala. Like just trial. If it worked, then he invests more time in it, more energy, more money, whatever he has, bootstrapping as much as
Yeah.
possible. And
Yeah.
once it hits home, he makes sure that he puts in more effort in the thing that is hitting home. So that is how
Yeah.
the structure formulated till now. Some structures worked, some didn't work, but he made sure that he's not quitting whatever he's doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hope I have
Mm.
summarized what you want
Most
to say.
most of things did not work. Some of
Right.
things worked. Some of the
Right.
things worked, and I focused more on those some of the things
Correct.
that worked. Then we do it even more. That's
Yes, like
exactly what
award
we do.
shows, there was a Shark Tank sort of event. There was
Yeah,
also a story
we
framing.
had
We've
a
done a lot of
networking
things.
group. We had a networking group. Yeah, it was a wonderful networking group. Only it
Yes.
was not generating that much revenue as I thought it would be. In return, it was taking a lot of my time. I think
Yeah.
you were there in the group itself.
Yeah.
Uh, but then I thought it's taking too much time and it's not going to run. So
Correct.
many things यार मेरे को याद भी नहीं इतना छोटा छोटा चीज मैंने किया था. But it was so much fun. मुझे बहुत मजा आता था. That
बराबर.
curiosity ना, चल ना ये करके देखते हैं, चल ना ऐसे ट्राई
हाँ,
करके देखते हैं, क्या होता है, देखते हैं, क्या आएगा, जब फेल हो जाए
बराबर.
फिर क्या, let us try something else. I
Yeah.
learn something, I'll do something else. That's all.
That's how you have worked. Nice. I want to ask you, while we were talking about trial and error, did it ever happen to you that you reached a point of failure and you felt नहीं यार अभी इसके आगे नहीं, मतलब शायद ये चल नहीं रहा है, I should try something else. Had this thought come to your head ever?
Yeah, of course, of course. That's a very common thing every entrepreneur goes through. I think it's as common as can be. I know it because I've taken over 600 interviews on telephone. I've
Oh.
spent hours and hours trying to understand how business works, what is the mindset of an entrepreneur, how
Hmm.
do they reach a certain level. I've met, startups who just started their startup just a week ago, and I
Mhm.
have met entrepreneurs who have literally 60 crores of turnover every year. So I know the mindset.
Hmm.
It's all about the psychology. ऐसा वो लोग ऐसा क्या अलग कर रहे हैं,
Hmm. Hmm.
like the reality remains the same. We all have our versions of reality. मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि ऐसा है. I don't know whether I'm right or wrong.
Right.
So everybody has their own version of reality, and they also have their own version of reality. But they are able to see the reality in such a way that it is working for them.
Hmm. Hmm.
Simple as that.
Correct.
And it's working for them in the right way. That's why things are happening the way they want. If they're able to generate 50, 60 crores of money every single year,
Hmm.
something is going terribly right.
Right.
Right. So what is that right thing? That you can only know what is inside that particular entrepreneur's mind. So
Right.
I used to do that. So मुझे पता चलता था कि that became my source of motivation
Hmm.
because I was totally new and this is a business. Though we have very few competitors. I hope I have a good amount of competitors. I think that's a healthy thing to happen. But तो मेरे को उधर उधर से सीखने का ही नहीं था. Whatever I had to learn was by doing it myself and getting to know whether this works or not.
Correct.
Because this is a business which is totally new. How
Mhm.
often do we see story sharing platforms? There are brilliant story sharing platforms, and I look up to all these people. But this is how you learn. This is how you learn.
Right.
But never did I feel कि यार चलो company बंद कर देंगे. Never. And I
Oh,
don't think it will never happen also.
yeah, I'm
Not
glad.
until I'm 60, 70 someday.
If it's
Someday, I don't know.
going well, then I mean, I think you should
Why not?
continue, definitely. So, well,
100%.
coming to the point, you just mentioned you took around 600 interviews over phone call. I guess after a point you realize that there are certain questions you can ask to get certain kind of reactions from people. So is there any particular questionnaire, like a generic questionnaire that you remember that you can share with the audience, someone who just wants to maybe become your competitor, as you said?
Yeah, of course, of course. So there is a certain thing that I really realized.
Yeah.
उसके बाद I'll answer your question.
Sure.
मेरे केस में कैसा था ना, they all were conscious enough to know कि ये story कहीं पे छपने वाली है. This
Huh.
is not a casual conversation. This is going to go somewhere, and
Correct.
people are going to read about it.
Hmm.
Okay. In almost 90-95% of the cases, Amrita, people would portray failure as if it was a thing of the past.
Huh.
Right now, I'm having success only. ऐसा
Yeah.
बोलते थे. Whether they're actually having or not, that's a different story. तो कहीं ना वो लोग मुझे पूरी चीज नहीं बताते थे.
Hmm.
Whether they will not talk about failure at all, or even if they're talking about failure, it has to end in a nice
Very
note
nice
कि
note. Yeah.
भाई अभी तो सब सही चल रहा है. हाँ, अभी तो एकदम ऐसा मस्त चल रहा है. you know so वो मुझे लगता था कि बट बिकॉज वो भी अपनी जगह से, ये उनको भी मार्केटिंग करनी है, बिकॉज इफ यू आर
Hmm.
टॉकिंग अबाउट योर कंपनी एंड इफ पीपल आर
Correct.
गोइंग टू रीड योर आर्टिकल एनीवे, इट इज मार्केटिंग फॉर यू. यू नो
Hmm.
तो वो मार्केटिंग गलत ना हो. हाँ ठीक है, द फेलियर हैपेंड बट देन नाउ इट्स गुड, सो व्हाटएवर दैट. तो उसके लिए ना मुझे सोच समझ के पूछना पड़ता था. यार
Hmm.
मैं ऐसा पूछूंगा, अब मैं उसको बोलूंगा कि यार अभी तुम लोग कौन सा कुछ बहुत बड़ा कर रहे हो. आई फील दैट वी आर नॉट डूइंग एनीथिंग बिग. आई
Yeah.
जेन्युइनली से दैट. मुझे नहीं लगता हम लोग कुछ बहुत बड़ा कर रहे हैं. वॉट एवर बेस्ट कैपेसिटी वी आर एबल टू, वी आर हैप्पी फ्रॉम दैट. Whether the
Hmm.
world sees as a success or failure, it doesn't matter. We are happy about whatever we are doing. But the
Correct.
other person doesn't think that way most of the time.
Hmm.
They were accepting. Okay, there are few things that most people don't see failure as a good thing,
Right.
which is wrong. And मुझे हम लोग एक दिन ऐसे बात कर रहे थे, talking to this particular person. So he told me कि इसका root cause भी is our education system. अगर
Hmm.
आप क्लास में सेकंड भी आए ना, कोई ये नहीं बोलेगा कि यार 30 बच्चों में तुम सेकंड आए. वो बोलेगा तू सेकंड कैसे आया. यू नो So
Correct.
that kills. And business is totally opposite.
Hmm.
Business is finding success in failures, in all the failures that you have. तो
Correct.
अगर तुम पहले से सोच के आए हो कि यार मैं करूंगा तो सक्सेस ही होगा, वरना करना ही नहीं है, तो यू आर नॉट गोइंग टू ट्राई एनीथिंग न्यू
Hmm.
लाइक दैट. तो मुझे स्टार्टिंग में जो यंग होते थे ना, उन लोगों को लगता था कि एक तो मैं ही भगवान पैदा हुआ हूँ, मैं बिजनेस में हाथ लगाऊंगा तो अंबानी के बाद मेरा ही नाम है, ऐसा. दिस इज हाउ दे थिंक. यू
Right.
नो तो मुझे लगता था कि आई एम नो वन टू टेल एनीवन कि भाई तुमको ये करना चाहिए, नहीं करना चाहिए. मेरा काम खाली इंटरव्यू लेना है.
Hmm.
बट मैं जानबूझ के उनको ये सवाल पूछता था कि व्हाट डू यू थिंक अबाउट.
Hmm.
आई
Hmm.
थिंक माई फोकस वॉज मोर ऑन द फेलियर्स, बिकॉज जो आप
Right.
सीखोगे ना वो फेलियर से ही सीखोगे. सक्सेस से बहुत कम सीखने को मिलता है.
Huh.
Failures is actually where the learning happens. So the more you fail, the more better
You
entrepreneur you
learn.
become
Yeah.
is what I see.
Correct.
Exactly. So that one common question that I used to ask everyone is, what do you think about failure, and how do you react to it?
Okay.
Right or wrong doesn't matter, but how do you look at failure like that?
Nice. So I think I've bagged that question already.
Okay.
So coming to the next question, I wanted to ask you, as you said, there are a lot of platforms out there whom you look up to and they are your peers, but what makes the entrepreneurs of India different from these platforms? What is your unique selling point?
I think we don't focus on the celebrities only.
Right.
I think it is built for common people. Whether even if you're not a famous person, doesn't mean your story is any less inspiring.
Hmm, hmm,
You know, मुझे मालूम है कि आप शेयर करोगे तो शायद 200 लोग भी नहीं देखेंगे,
hmm.
which is okay by me. But as far as it has something to share. Someone has something to learn, and it is giving you some sort of satisfaction also. कि
Right.
भाई somebody could see something in us, and which is worth sharing. तो मुझे अच्छा लगता था. You should see my WhatsApp chat. There are so many
Right.
thank you happening. You
Mhm.
are the most of the time they say you are the first person who took our interview,
Right,
and I
right.
think this is what makes us a different company, because only because you're famous, only then should we, only if you're Amitabh Bachchan, you know, कोई आपका story inspiring होगा क्या? ऐसा
Mhm.
नहीं है. Even
Correct,
if you are
correct.
doing it at a very small scale, there is so much to learn from a common person. And I think, and I'll stick to my roots. This is what I wanted all the time, because I think the main content is happening there.
Right.
So
So
yeah,
you focus more on the stories of the common folk than maybe celebrities. As long as there is a
yeah,
story there and there's a learning there, it doesn't matter where it comes from.
yeah, yeah.
So well, do you feel, usually what happens is we do follow our passion and that is what you've been doing. But it so happens sometimes that even when we are following our passion, there is a boring part of the task that you don't like
100%,
doing. So is there a
100%.
boring part of the task that you don't like doing, and what do you do in that case?
I'll tell you, if you remember a few like 10-15 minutes ago, I said कि the first year of my business was the best year. I
Mhm.
enjoyed that. I had no money that time, but that was my best year. And I said because तब मैं वही करता था जो मुझे अच्छा लगता.
Correct.
But in order to make it sustainable, I had to have a team.
Mhm.
In order to try out different things. क्योंकि मेरे
Yeah.
को मालूम है I am a lazy person first of all. I will
Uh-huh.
only invest a few. Most of my day I spend on thinking, trying to understand the world, trying to study people. I keep a very low profile. I don't like to do that. मुझे अच्छा लगता है. I like to stay alone. I have good amount of friends. But
Right.
उल्टा होता है. मुझे कभी भी लगता है भाई आज नहीं, आज नहीं, आज नहीं. Let me sit alone. So the first year, Amrita, I'll tell you, it was the best year.
Right.
क्योंकि मैं खुद इंटरव्यू लेता था, मैं खुद आर्टिकल लिखता था, मैं खुद सोशल मीडिया में पोस्ट करता था, मैं खुद वेरीफाई करता था, मैं खुद वन टू वन बात करता था उनसे. बट देन आई रियलाइज कि इफ आई कीप ऑन डूइंग दिस ना, द me making decent amount of money seems like a very difficult thing to achieve.
Correct.
तो अगर मुझे इसको सस्टेनेबल बनाना है, इफ आई वांट टू मल्टीप्लाई दिस, नहीं तो ये 2 साल में बंद हो जाएगा.
Hmm.
तो मुझे लगा कि अगर मैं ऐसे करते रहूंगा ना, आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू मेक एनी मनी.
Correct.
बिकॉज अगर पैसा भी आएगा ना तो बहुत लेट आएगा. So
Hmm.
right now it's not the time to enjoy, but to make it sustainable. Because अगर मैं enjoy करूँगा ना तो I don't think it will last for a long time. And at some point in life, I will have to think about making money, of course, because
Correct.
that's why it has to be sustainable. So that time I thought कि यार चलो ये इंटरव्यू देने का काम किसी को दे देते हैं, राइट अप का काम किसी को दे देते हैं, सोशल मीडिया का काम किसी को दे देते हैं. To people who are much efficient than me, who are much far more superior than me, who can do this particular thing much better than I can ever do. I wanted to give it to those people.
Hmm.
So I thought, okay, then let's start building a team. So I started with content writers, and I
Right.
could see wonderful results. They used to write it in a much better way than I can. और मुझे अच्छा लगा. फिर कंटेंट राइटर हुआ. Then I thought of hiring video editors. कि चलो वीडियो में भी थोड़ा एक्सपेरिमेंट करते हैं. Then they did a good job there also. Then we
Hmm.
had an opportunity to have you as a wonderful voiceover artist.
Thank you.
Wonderful work. फिर धीरे धीरे we started project.
Yeah.
फिर हम लोग अवार्ड शो था, so we wanted to have sales because लोगों को मालूम ही नहीं अवार्ड शो है तो how will they participate.
Hmm.
We needed to find some way of telling people in a very innovative way. The marketing has to be really right. So we had sales people. ऐसे
Right.
करते we have a small team of 12 people today.
Yeah. Yeah.
There we have just so they also get the exposure. And we have my CEO Sayan Sen Gupta. He takes care of most of the operations. All
Hmm.
the stories that you see, has been posted by him. Emails हो गया, connecting with the entrepreneurs. That's what he does. He's also a content writer. Apart from that, we have Namrata Sharma. She's a wonderful content writer. Apart from that, we have Palak Handuja. She's another wonderful content writer. Then
Hmm.
we have two graphic designers. We have
Okay.
Swastik and we have Simran.
Hmm.
And then we have Shreya also. Shreya is, so I've also collaborated with another company called S-3 House of Media, which
Okay.
I will come into after some time. So ऐसे करते करते we have that. फिर उसके लिए वो company के लिए we have separate team. We
Hmm.
have Dhanashri, we have Aditya Narayan, we have Shreya, like I told you, and we have
Hmm.
Rishika also. So all these people धीरे धीरे करते बनते गए. And अब मुझे अच्छा लग रहा है कि as a CEO, my
Hmm.
only job is to make decisions for the company.
Right.
That's all I do all the time. 1 घंटे का भी काम नहीं होता है मेरा दिन का. But that 1 hour of work is backed up by a lot of research and
Correct.
trial and error and thinking, and just so I know that we're on the right track. So
Got it.
yes, it is boring. मुझे वो करने को नहीं मिल रहा है जो मुझे वो पहले ही साल में करने को मिलता था.
Uh-huh.
But in order to making it sustainable, but Amrita, there's a twist to it also. ये जो
Yeah.
magazine हम लोग चालू कर रहे हैं, this is only possible because I had a team.
Correct.
If I used, if अगर मैं सिर्फ फन का सोचता था वो पहला करता था, तो I don't think I would have started a magazine also.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there is that, but there is this also. It's like
Yeah.
that.
I know. Pros and cons. Like even
Yeah,
if you're passionate about something, it kind of turns into a job and a chore, but then in the end you
yeah,
enjoy what you're
yeah,
doing. So that's all that
yeah,
matters.
yeah,
So, well, you
yeah.
were talking about the magazine, and it would be wonderful if you could elaborate on it and tell people what it is all about and what have you been doing so far.
Okay, so it's a business magazine, of course,
Right.
and it's a feature magazine basically. So
Mhm.
we try to, and we have got an opportunity to have you featured on the first ever magazine that we launched. I think it was in April. It was in April. So
Yeah.
that was the first magazine that we launched. April, May has been launched, and now June will launch in 28. Apart from that, Amrita have collaborated with a wonderful personality called Nirali Shah.
Mhm.
I used to check it out. So we both have founded a new company called SG House of Media.
Okay.
which is we are launching 8 different magazines, believe it or not, of 8 different categories, and starting from July itself. So
Okay.
just to give you an idea, our magazines are business magazines. It's a feature magazine. We look
Mhm.
forward to portraying stories of entrepreneurs who have done something out of the box, or who could people who could see the world much differently than the common people
Yeah.
and succeeded. Because that's the ultimate goal. Even if you fail 99 times, it's if you succeeded that one time, that really counts.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is
Okay.
basically about the business magazine. And in July, we are
Mhm.
launching the new Womenpreneurs series of magazine catered to women only. Which I think they're amazing. The way they have come out of their lifestyle, and our culture was so strong that it was very difficult to even imagine that our daughters or our sisters can also do. Just 20, 30 years ago, it would look like very rare thing,
Yeah.
but right now we see it as a very common thing, and I think that's our superpower. I think that's why India is growing, because
Wow.
we have the women's participation in the business and in all sectors. I think this is exactly why we are growing.
Oh, wow.
So
Yeah,
and you stand as a
congratulations
great
on that,
example
man.
yourself.
It's like a
Yeah.
big thing now. It
Yeah.
started with one magazine and now you have eight of them. So kudos to you. It's great, wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, well, as we discussed it, it is almost going to be 3 years now. And from your experience, what is that one learning that you remember as a talisman? Ki roz aisa jap karte ho uska. What is that one message that you would like to
Yeah.
give everyone?
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I'd like to give two of them.
Okay.
मुझे लगता है ये दोनों दोनों को मेंशन करना is very very important. um just one second, I'm just trying to process that इसको कैसे portray करना है.
Okay.
uh, yeah, one is the culture that you set for your company. I
Okay.
think is very very important. मुझे ऐसा लगता है, if you see my company, they're all students, all of them from
Mhm.
different parts of India with no experience at all. And the उनका कैसा है ना, if they do something good, I tell them that you have done a great job,
Hmm.
and I try to make them really really happy. I don't tell them to do unnecessary stuff that I won't even do it myself. तो मैं उनसे क्यों करवाऊँ, the things
Correct.
that lagged in my company. और
Yeah.
अगर वो लोग मिस्टेक करते हैं ना, so I've never shouted in my I मेरे को याद भी नहीं कि I got angry on someone on my team. Yes, that is one of the part. Never get angry.
Hmm. Hmm.
Never ever get angry. No matter what happens, even the worst things that you can imagine that can happen to your life. Fun fact, I don't think that is the worst thing that can happen to you. But even if anything worse happens, don't get angry.
Yeah.
Because if you get angry, you already lost it.
Hmm.
Unless you have a calm mind, unless you are able to see things for the way they are. And with a calm mind only, you will be able to think, okay, if this is the situation, this should be the result. You should invest your time in thinking. You should
Mhm.
invest your energy in thinking how to solve it rather
Yeah.
than getting angry. So I thought when you appreciate your team, when you give
Mhm.
them that comfort, when you actually tell them, and when you give them the authority to decide also. ऐसा नहीं कि
Hmm.
मैं boss हूँ तो मैं बोलूँगा तो वही होगा. Nothing like
Hmm.
that. If you think this is the right way to go ahead and do it. I
Hmm.
will be there to support you as a team member. Do that. गलती करते हो तो कभी डांटना नहीं उनको.
Hmm.
Never say that they may misuse it, but कोई ज्यादा misuse करेगा तो you can always tell them that maybe this work is not for you. You can try in another company.
Hmm.
That is the
Hmm.
worst thing that can happen to them.
Correct.
But if they are performing well, and surprisingly, Amrita, I don't remember following up with my. मैंने अगर टीम को एक बार बोला ना कि आपको ये करना है, दे वोंट मेरे को कभी फॉलो अप ही नहीं करना पड़ता है. दे
Hmm.
विल
Hmm.
डू इट इन द बेस्ट वे पॉसिबल. एक बार मैंने बोल दिया ना कि हाँ चलो सर ने बोला है हमको करना है, और कुछ अच्छा करेंगे ना, तो मैं उनकी इतनी तारीफ कर देता हूँ, इसीलिए नहीं कि तारीफ करनी है,
Correct.
बिकॉज दे आर वर्दी ऑफ दैट अप्रिसिएशन. एंड
Hmm.
दे फील सो नाइस कि वो लोग कभी छोड़ के भी जाएंगे ना, इफ दे आर डूइंग एन इंटर्नशिप, तो 2 महीने के बाद बोलते हैं कि सर हमको वापस आपके पास काम करना है. And I feel so happy. And you should see the messages they type when they leave. Sir, we had a good experience in this that. So मुझे भी अच्छा लगता है. And all the beautiful things that you see that our company is building is only because of my team. And I'm able to maintain that culture in the company, that we're all sitting here as brothers and sisters. If you need my help, I'm always there. If
Hmm.
I need your help, I know you're going to be always there. So I think that setting of culture is very important.
Hmm.
Very, very
Yeah.
important.
Right.
So I think That should be a priority for all the entrepreneurs.
It does make a lot of difference because it is important to be a leader rather than a boss, because the moment you're a boss you feel that everyone is at your command, and the moment you give away that command and give everybody the autonomy to do what they want to do, it makes a lot of difference because we are individuals. And आप देखो बचपन से ना सब लोग रिबेलियन कर रहे होते हैं कि नहीं हमको हमारा आइडेंटिटी चाहिए, और सब लोग वो आइडेंटिटी छीनने की कोशिश करते हैं घर पे भी, नहीं यार हमारे हिसाब से करो, हमारे हिसाब से करो, जॉब में भी हमारे हिसाब से करो, स्कूल में भी हमारे हिसाब से करो. There's one point in their life where they want to express themselves, and if you don't give them that opportunity, they will feel constricted, and then they will not respect you. If you treat them with the same respect as you would want to be treated with, then everything is fine.
Because it happened with me when I was doing a job. Yeah.
You told
if I
me
do
that.
something good, nobody would say anything
Appreciate
good.
it.
Not even thanks or something like that. पर कुछ गलत किया ना तो 3 लोग रेडी बैठे होते हैं तुमको बताने के लिए कि तुमने गलत किया क्या. And I thought that this is what is going wrong in most of the companies. I've had a word with कितने लोग इसीलिए जॉब छोड़ देते हैं because they're not able to face that toxic culture.
Correct.
And I think if you're running any company, if you have people in it, कोई ऐसा नहीं कर रहा है एक दूसरे पे. You're paying them and they're getting that work for. और as an employee's perspective also, वो भी कोई आप पे ऐसा नहीं कर रहे हैं. आप उनके लिए उतना काम करके दे रहे हो तो आपको पैसा दे.
Correct.
So there's no favor going on. You can't say कि यार मैं बोलूंगा तो ऐसा ही होगा. I don't think that's the way. So it's how you and if you can create something beautiful while enjoying it, what is the problem? Why do you have to create that unnecessary tension or unnecessary stress? क्यों करना है? जब अच्छे से हो रहा है तो करो ना. What is the problem? And I'm lucky that I've got a wonderful team for my company.
Yeah, I know they're amazing people, and I'm glad that
we have
you also got such a great boss. तो फर्क वो दोनों का हिसाब है, मतलब दोनों वाला हिसाब है वो. It's a give and take situation. The boss should also be good, and so I mean the employees should also be appreciative.
I am as a team. मेरे को ये ego नहीं कि मैं तो company का founder मैं ऐसा हो गया. Nothing like that. I'm just doing what I am supposed to do. You are just doing what you are supposed to do. Let's do it with a smile on our face and let's enjoy doing what we do. That's all. That's all I am saying. And you will see the results are going to be much better than you can think of.
Exactly. Well, thank you for this. And coming to the last and final question, तुम तो जानते हो कि मैं क्या पूछती हूँ as usual. So coming to my auntie mode, beta, what does the phrase being settled mean to you?
See, I think that I think personally feel कि लोग जो it may sound wrong and it can be wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong. जो सब लोग कर रहे हैं ना, जरूरी नहीं कि तुमको भी करना है. उल्टा जो सब लोग कर रहे हैं ना, वो लोग पछता भी रहे वो भी देखो. All my friends are MBA. All my friends, I'm not saying they are unhappy with their life. They're doing good for themselves. I am really proud of that. But अगर वो लोग आके कंप्लेन करते हैं कि यार मेरे लाइफ में ये प्रॉब्लम है, या मेरे को ये मजा नहीं आ रहा है, या मेरे को ऐसा टीम मेंबर मिल गया, या मेरे को इतना ही पगार मिलता है, it can be anything. So why? Who is telling you to do that? And Amrita, something that I really realized in my 3 years of journey is that आपके लाइफ में जितने भी प्रॉब्लम्स है ना, majority of the problems are happening because of you only. Either you are inviting those problems or you are creating them.
Correct.
If you pay enough attention to all the problems that you have now, you will see that the source is you, and that is good, because if you are the source, you are telling yourself that I have the control to solve it also.
Correct.
If I say कि ये प्रॉब्लम हो गई but उसमें मेरा कोई कंट्रोल नहीं, there is nothing I can do. But if I say कि ऐसा प्रॉब्लम है and I know कि ये मेरे वजह से हुआ है, और मैं क्योंकि मेरे वजह से हुआ है तो मैं इसको सॉल्व भी कर सकता हूँ.
Correct.
So don't do things that everybody is doing. मेरे क्लास में सब लोग 5 नोटबुक लेके आते थे, मैं नहीं जाता था. And still I completed my graduation. Nothing different. I am also happy today. They are also happy today.
Correct.
But I was happy कि मैं वो टाइम में 5 नोटबुक लेके नहीं जाता था. So it's how you look at it. You don't have to do everything that everybody is doing. मेरे जॉब में when I was doing a job, everybody was okay with their life. They're still doing a job, and I hope they're very happy about it. But if you're not happy genuinely, then you don't have to pretend to be happy. It's okay. You can always find another way. Stop doing things that others are doing. Just because everybody is doing, you have to do it. No. I think I sleep late. I am a night person, as you know, of course. We have had talked 2 बजे तक जब हम बात करते हैं कितनी बार. that is there. I don't mind waking up early, but if there's nothing to do early, then it's okay if I wake up a
Exactly.
little late. You know,
Hmm.
और पूरा दिन काम नहीं है तो तैयार होके क्यों बैठना है पूरा दिन? What is the point?
Correct.
मेरी टीम को भी आई विल पे देम फुल, यू नो, जो भी
Hmm.
सैलरी होगा उनको मैं पूरा सैलरी देता हूँ. भले 15 दिन काम नहीं किया होगा ना, आई एम ओके विद दैट.
Hmm.
जो काम है उतना करो, यू विल गेट द. मुझे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता तुमने कम काम किया ज्यादा काम किया. तुमको जितना काम है उतना तुमने किया है ना,
बराबर.
एंड यू डिड इट विद अ स्माइल ऑन योर फेस, आई एम हैप्पी अबाउट इट. मैं 1 तारीख होती है ना अमृता, आई एम द फर्स्ट वन टू टेल ऑल ऑफ देम. मुझे सैलरी देने में ना बड़ा खुशी होती है. मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है. आई डोंट नो व्हाई. अदर्स फील कि अरे यार हमारे बैंक से इतना पैसा कम हो गया. मुझे अच्छा लगता है बिकॉज वो सेटिस्फेक्शन लगता है कि यार कितना अच्छा काम करके दिया. आई एम सो हैप्पी. आई
Right.
डोंट मेक देम डू थिंग्स दैट अदर कंपनीज आर डूइंग फॉर देयर एम्प्लॉय,
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
because it just doesn't make any sense.
Correct.
And you will see the results will be phenomenal.
Hmm.
Because I am lazy, I left that job. I could have fixed myself कि यार सब लोग मेहनत कर रहे हैं तो चलो मेहनत ही करते हैं, you know.
बराबर.
नहीं, जरूरी नहीं है तुमको पैसा ही कमाना है ना, तुम बिना मेहनत के भी कर सकते हो. There are 101 ways.
Right.
So many things we just don't look into these things.
Correct.
So ये जो आंटी लोग बोलती है ना, अंकल आंटी जो भी है, ये जो टीचर, see, people who are trying to teach you how to live a life, they themselves are not happy with their own life. How can we
Correct.
expect them to teach us the right way to live? So in
Yeah.
that case, you have to discover the right way of living yourself. That's all. Don't do things that everybody else is doing. Simple as that.
Correct. So there's no right way to live. It's
Hmm.
as long as you're happy with what you're doing, सब कुछ सही है.
Yes. And if you're really intelligent, challenge yourself. मुझे मालूम था कि मेरे में भगवान ने इतनी तो अक्ल दी है कि I will find a way to make good money.
Right.
You know, to in order to make it sustainable. At the same time, I will enjoy the best I can. At the same time, I will make sure कि मेरे टीम में जितने भी लोग हैं वो लोग भी उतने ही खुश होंगे जितना मैं हूँ.
Hmm.
And I'm sure we are able to achieve that very easily. And I'm able to make so many people happy with the work that my team is doing. Right? So it's possible. Of course, it's possible.
It
Why
is.
not?
So, well,
Yeah.
thank you, Arjun. These were all my questions. Thank you for sharing your wisdom. And well, this podcast has the same mission that it is to bring the listeners out of their comfort zone and try out new things, because it's just the fear of the unknown that is stopping you. And if you just step out of your comfort zone a little bit, you might also love being unsettled. So
Beautiful.
thank you so much, Arjun, for coming and sharing your story. If you want to be featured on his page, I'm going to add all the links in the description so that you can get in touch with him or his team, and you can be featured either on the magazine or of course on the
Yeah.
Instagram page. And I'm assuming there's a website as well. On the website, do you
Of course.
post stories? Yes.
Of
So
course.
on
The entrepreneurs of India.in.
yes.
We have Daily Hunt associated now. We have Google News and all these platforms. If
Right.
anybody is looking forward to getting featured there, I'll be more than happy to feature there.
So there are a lot of platforms. You can get in touch with them for all the details. I'll be adding all the links. And thank you, Arjun. Thank you so much for coming
Hmm.
on Unsettling and sharing your story.
Thank you, Amrita. Thank you for always being there. I can't imagine my company. Literally, I'm not joking. इसे नहीं बोलोगे रिकॉर्ड हो रहा है और हम लोग बात कर रहे हैं. I really, really mean it. I want people to invest some time in understanding Amrita. I've invested I think a good amount of time because we're good friends, and we talk all the time. We discuss situations and we discuss solutions and we discuss ideas. And वो खाली वो call record नहीं हो रहा है, so we can't share it with you all.
Yeah.
But you should see the perfectionist. He is such a
I am.
perfectionist. There's so much I've learned from Amrita, and there is so much that we as a company have got from her. Amrita, thank you for being there. Thank you for being so nice to me. Thank you so much. It
Thank
means
you,
a lot.
Arjun. I think we bring
Hmm.
the best out of each other. हम दोनों में कुछ कुछ
Hmm.
खामियां हैं जो हम ऐसे पूरे करते हैं बात बात करके. और I think it's great to have Arjun also in your life. So you can have one Arjun and one Amrita in your life who can help you out with all the things. While I'm a perfectionist, he finds out ways to do things easily because, as he said, he's very lazy. So you can always come
Very
with
little.
problems to him, and he's like, प्लीज ये बहुत कॉम्प्लिकेट कर रहे हो आप. हम इसका इजी सॉल्यूशन है. So he does that to you, and it is
Yes.
always wonderful to have come up with all these complex problems that are there in your head, as he said, and it's not there anywhere else, and you go to him and then he makes it very simple and very short and gives it back to you. So it's always fun to be in touch with him. And if you need a friend also, you can always ping him, tell him your problems. He's always there. So yeah, it's a wonderful platform that he has created, a network, and
Yeah.
it's just amazing. So please do visit the Entrepreneurs of India, and please stay tuned to Unsettling. And thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Amrit. That means a lot.